You ever wonder how normal people, regular folks, actually become millionaires? Because it's usually not what you see in the movies. Today we're going to break it down. We're counting down the 7 assets that are quietly making people fortunes right now.
So, what are these things? Like, when you think wealth, what pops into your head? Stocks? A bunch of rental properties? Yeah, we're going to cover all that. But you'll want to stick around because the ones at the top of the list, they're probably not what you're thinking.
All right, let's just dive right in. We're doing a countdown, 7 to 1. We'll start with the stuff that's more common and work our way up to the really powerful ones. And I'm telling you, number 1 is going to totally change how you think about what an asset even is. So let's do it.
All right, kicking things off at number 7. This is an asset that's way more about passion than it is about pure profit.
We're talking about collectibles. Stuff like rare art, classic cars, maybe even those super exclusive sneakers. And yeah, the appeal is obvious. You love this stuff, and hey, sometimes the value just explodes. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. This stuff is what they call illiquid. That just means it's a real pain to sell quickly when you need the cash. It's super risky, you need to be a total expert, and honestly, it's more of a high-stakes hobby than a real path to getting rich.
Okay, moving on to number 6. And this one is basically the complete opposite of collectibles.
Yep, at number 6, we've got bonds. Think of these as the slow and steady turtle in the race. The whole reason people like them is that they're super safe, very stable. But the catch is that the growth is just so slow. The main thing to remember is this. Bonds are great if you're already rich and want to keep your wealth. They're not so great for building it in the first place.
All right, we're climbing up the list to number 5. And oh man, this is the one. This is the one everybody dreams about when they hear passive income.
You guessed it, real estate rentals. I mean, the dream of just getting checks in the mail every month, right? That's powerful. You get cash flow, the property value goes up, but the reality check here is pretty brutal. First, you need a ton of cash just to get in the game, and second, it is not passive. Let's be real. You're not just an owner, you're a manager. You're dealing with tenants, broken toilets, and all the paperwork. It's a job.
Okay, on to number 4. Now, this is an asset that literally pays you just to hold on to it.
We're talking about dividend stocks. And the idea is actually pretty cool. You buy a piece of a solid company, and just for owning that stock, they send you a check, a dividend. It's a nice, consistent stream of income. The catch? Well, this is a slow burn. It's a very long game. You need a lot of patience, and you need a pretty good chunk of money invested to see any real, meaningful income from it.
All right, here we go. We are officially in the top 3. And this is where things get really interesting. We're shifting gears from the more traditional stuff into assets that have truly explosive, life-changing potential.
Coming in at number 3 is owning your own private business. Could be a local coffee shop, could be a software company. The beauty here is you are in complete control, and the potential for growth is just massive. But the flip side of that coin is pretty intense. The catch is that your business will probably consume your entire life. All your time, all your energy, and the personal risk, the stress, it's huge.
And now, number 2, our runner-up. This might just be the single greatest, quietest wealth-building machine that exists for the average person, at least in the traditional world of finance. At number 2, we have index funds and ETFs. These are like the unsung heroes of investing. The reason they're so great is that you're instantly diversified, it's steady, and you get to harness the insane power of compounding interest over time. Now, the catch is obvious. This is not going to make you rich overnight. It is the textbook definition of a long-term play. So, if this is number 2, what in the world could be number 1?
And here it is, the number 1 asset that's making ordinary people millionaires right now. So get ready for this one, because I guarantee you did not learn about this in your high school economics class.
The number 1 asset creating a new wave of millionaires is the digital asset. Okay, so what does that even mean? Think about things like niche websites, a site dedicated to one specific hobby, or online communities, or even those big theme pages you see on social media. The key thing is you can run them from literally anywhere, and this is the most important part, the profit margins can be absolutely insane.
So why number 1? Why is this so powerful? Well, you really have to see the difference. A traditional business, right? It's got warehouses, employees, huge startup costs, all this stuff that weighs it down. A digital asset? It has none of that. No warehouse, no employees, no giant costs. You can literally build a global business from your laptop without any of the overhead that crushes most new companies.
Let's just tick off the advantages here. We're talking about profit margins that can hit like 95%. You have a global reach right from your phone. You can build these things up and then sell them for life-changing amounts of money. And maybe the biggest thing of all, you're not just creating a product to sell. You're building an audience and influence.
And that right there, that leads us to the real kicker. This is the secret sauce. When you build a digital asset that works, what you really own is attention. And in today's world, owning the trusted attention of a group of people is the ultimate form of leverage. It means you have the ability to sell almost anything.
Look, this all comes down to a really basic shift in how you think. A shift that separates people who just earn money from people who own things. It's that old idea, are you trading your time for money, or are you building assets that work for you 24/7 so you don't have to? The wealthy, they don't punch a clock. They build systems that make money while they sleep.
So that leaves you with a really important question to think about. As you go about your week, just ask yourself, am I just working for a paycheck? Or am I actively building assets that are going to work for me down the road?